Privet, tavarish. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day and welcome back to the channel. What I have for you guys today is definitely one of my favorite Soviet heavy tanks of all time, the pike nose bullhead master himself, the IS-3, also known as the Joseph Stalin 3 for its original designation. The IS-3 is a Soviet heavy tank that was developed in 1944 but not produced until 1945 and then didn't roll off the factory floor until about mid-May. They continued to produce them until 1947. Although they came out a couple months before the war ended, they were still made a little too late to have any impact on the war itself. So instead, the Soviets decided to showcase it in the 1945 Berlin Victory Day parade. And definitely one of my favorite and the funniest thing that I heard happened at the parade, a US commander or captain was sitting next to a Soviet commander. And when they saw the tanks for the first time, since these tanks were, mostly made in secret, it was the first time that the West was laying eyes on this new Soviet heavy. So when they saw it, the US commander leaned over to the Russian commander and he whispered to him, he's like, hey, we're on the same side, right? And I just find that hilarious because I just picture the Russian commander like, yeah, we're on the same side. And then the air turns cold because, Cold War happened. But anyway, the powertrain for this tank is the Kharkiv, I hope I said that right, the Kharkiv Model V2 V12 diesel engine producing 600 horsepower, propelling this 600 ton, I said 600 ton, well look, that's a blooper that's staying in there, so propelling this 46 ton heavy tank to speeds up to 40 kilometers per hour or 25 miles per hour. The tank is home to 4 men. You have your driver, your loader, your gunner, and your commander. Although even though the turret looks really cool, I did hear about it being like mad cramped in there, so I kind of feel bad for them. Like, even though the tank came off the factory floor with that new car smell, you can't really enjoy it because you're breathing down your buddy's neck the entire time you're in this thing. But on the bright side of being inside of that really cramped tank, you are sitting inside of the most armored and well protected Soviet tank of the era. Not only that, but the semi-hemispherical turret at its thickest point around the gun mantle was 250 millimeters of rolled homogeneous armor, or RHA, of solid steel. That equates to 9 inches of just solid steel, protecting you from incoming fire. The tank is of course fitted with one of the best guns of the Second World War and of the Soviet Army at the time, the 122mm D25T main cannon. Even though this gun had a very slow rate of fire compared to the German 88, the American 76, the 75, the British 17-pounder, you would not want to get hit by this gun. I mean, you don't want to get hit by any tank for that matter, but specifically the 122, you definitely don't want to get hit by this gun. I mean, it was feared universally by the Germans. So much so that the Germans deliberately avoided fighting Soviet tanks that were armed with the 122 because they had the same effect that the Tiger tank had on the Allies when it first came out. And instead of fighting it directly head on where you could have more casualties on your side, you would just call in an airstrike or artillery on their position and just be done with it. Well then, I think that is going to be it for today's video. Since this is a Russian tank and I love doing these kind of impressions, you guys already know that I have to end the video in my Russian accent. I wanted to thank all of you guys on behalf of the motherland and hope that you enjoyed the video on the IS-3. If you like what you saw and would definitely like to see more, you know what to do. You can like, you can leave a comment, or you can subscribe if you're true Russian. And please, feel free to shoot the notification bell with a Makarov. All of you stay safe, God bless, and happy holidays, and I will see you on the battlefield. Spasiba, do svidania.